So we have a problem right here. This is the left turn signal. It's flashing both lights. So we're going to figure out what that problem is. I suspect it has something to do with probably the wiring for the trailer, but we'll see. For the trailer connection, could be the switch doing something goofy, but we'll see if we can figure that out. Here we can see that in the front only the left is on, and so it's probably not the switch. It's probably somewhere in the back in that somebody's probably got some tape or some other kind of crap back there connecting the wires together for the trailer wiring. So, but we're still going to check that out. So before I was on the yellow wire when it's on the left, we're now turned on to the right turn signal, and we can see that it's not the switch. It's feeding out both wires separately like it should, and the front is also working correctly. So now we have the right signal on the front and the left. We still have both signals in the back flashing. So we're going to go inside and look at the wires and see what we can figure out going on in there. Here we can see the wires in the back. So the motorhome is all disassembled back here, except for this silly sink is still in the way. But here's the green wire going over to the right. And here is the left wire. At least we think it's the left wire. It was yellow up front. It seems to be spliced together going over there. I don't know why someone would do that. And then we believe that this one right here is the wire for the tail lights. That should go to both sides. But if that's a factory splice job right there, I'd be, mildly surprised. I don't know if it is or not. But let's find out if we can get a ground back here and test and see if that yellow one really is the tail light and that brown one really is the yellow one's the signal and the brown one's the tail light. So I'm not getting any good wires or any good power back there at all. So that's probably because I have a bad ground back there. And so I'm going to look for a ground that I know is good. These wires right here are up in front. And they're pulled out right now because they were used for when I was taking the bunk apart. They're used for the tail lights. We can see that I got tail lights right there when I turn the light switch on. Okay, and so probably the black one is ground and the red one is hot, but we want to make sure so that when we run the wire back there, we have a good ground. We're just doing this to test so we get a good test. Now I grounded the test light on the steering column. It's not quite long enough now. And you can see I still have power, and I got nothing here. So this black one is the ground and this red one is the power. So we don't care about anything right now except for we're going to use this ground to run the wire and run a wire to the back, so when we test our tail lights back there, we know we have a good ground. Now when I started doing this junk, we were putting in stereos and cruise controls and auxiliary lights, air conditioning, and all kinds of crap. And so I'm going to show you how we used to connect the wires together when we were testing stuff. Get you a pretty good connection. Doesn't blow too many fuses. get you insulated when you're just kind of moving stuff around. There's lots of ways to do this. This is just the way we did it. It was fast. We were getting paid flat rate, so we didn't have time to be messing around with a bunch of stuff. So let me get the camera down on my wires here. So this blue wire and this yellow wire, just some junk wire that's laying around in here because I have this motorhome torn all apart. I'm just going to use that to make a quick extension to get the ground back there. Now while I'm doing this test, I don't want to blow any fuses by shorting this red wire out on anything. And so we're just going to block that off quick. Now you could use wire nuts for this or butt connectors or whatever, but we're just going to use a little bit of electrical tape just because it's fast and it's easy and I can take it apart later without any trouble. So we tear it off. Most people would go to wrapping it around like this, but we used to just put it on like this. Stick the tape to each other, and there you have it right there. It's stuck on both sides. Nothing's going to happen to that. It's easy to take apart, easy to put together. I might have been off camera there. Let me connect this yellow one. Now this yellow wire is just a piece of junk wire that's laying around. All I'm going to do is twist those together a little bit, bend them over, and then put a piece of electrical tape on there. Just like that. That'll hold it together and it's insulated. So that's a fast way to connect a couple of wires together. These are my favorite wire strippers ever. I think they're maybe made for, I don't know, doing Romex or something. I don't know. I think I got them at the home center. But I've had them a long time, 20 years or something. So, but I use them all. I use them for everything. Now, just to make sure that we're not confused, we're going to go from black to yellow to blue. We're going to do the same thing we've been doing. Just tape that on there, right there, like that. Now let me see if this piece of wire is, so there you go, like that. That won't pull apart easy. It won't ground out. This is a ground, but it won't short out easy. It won't spark anything. It won't blow any fuses. It's quick. We can easily get it apart. Let me see if this is long enough. Yeah, so that wire is long enough to reach the back now, and we're going to go back there and reset the camera.